Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go slide by slide. I'm going to explain to you in each slide what you should have. Of course, what you put inside each slide will depend somewhat in terms of what your startup is, the market, the product or service, but there are some common points that you should consider in your slide, and what we'll do is we'll do it together right now, okay? There's no notes here. I've done this quite a few times, so let me just pop it up. So basically on the first slide after the company slide, so this is your number one slide, okay? I usually have done it like that. So, and this is kind of looks really cool, bolded. This is a color, and this is a white. Numbering is a white. And then, of course, as I said, I allocated this area right here, and the size of the logo depends on what your logo is. Usually, also when you design your startup logos, think in terms of squares. Make it tight. I can tell you that I've done both squares and horizontal logos, and I'm a big believer in trying to make the logos square because it's easier to use it in social media, t-shirts, you name it. So here's the logo, okay? And then you're going to call this either the company, or you're going to call it a separate company overview. And like I said in the previously, is that this slide could actually serve two functions, and you can do it two different ways. One is that you give enough information for the investor to get excited and obviously go to the next slides, or this slide could be designed in such a way where it's a summary slide and explains the entire picture of the company on that one slide. And to put it bluntly to you, you should probably do both. And then depending on the investor, you could incorporate one of the slides according to the type of investor. But there's some commonalities on all this. So now you've got a little dot, square, and what you're going to talk about is, first thing you want to do is talk about your company description, okay? And you want to talk about what the company does, okay? And one of the things that irritated me at times with entrepreneurs is that they're telling me, well, my startup is not this, or that. I don't care. Tell me what it is. And so, I hate the concept like, give me your 1 minute elevator pitch, and please, I'm not a big fan of 1 minute elevator pitches, because then what happens is the entrepreneur starts giving me startup jargon, mumbo jumbo, marketing words, platform this, platform that, revolutionizing this sector or that sector. That's why I said in your description, do not think of it as something you would say going up the elevator and you're pitching an investor. Think of it in terms of like, how can I understand what you do in the least amount of words possible? And don't focus on making it Twitter-like, 144 characters a lot. That's all crap. Okay, I'm telling you that the description needs to exactly say what you're trying to do. Of course, one of the other points is the vision. Okay, and you know what? I went back and forth on this, but I'll tell you, if you are looking to revolutionize an industry, and you really mean it, then say you're looking to revolutionize an industry. If you're looking to disrupt an industry, say you're looking to disrupt an industry, okay? If you're looking to ride an industry and copy somebody and make as much money as you can and exit, say it too. My big point to you is that you want this slide to exemplify that you already have market traction. There's two ways, as I said, going about it. Is you can do the quick summary of everything in the slide, or you can do it in such a way where you just give up a couple of key points where you wanted to progress into the product or service. On the first page, company, if you've got something really cool you need to show, hit them right there on the spot, okay? So if you have a very cool a product and it looks unbelievable, it's smoking hot, then I would also recommend putting a graphic here. Make sure that graphic looks tight. Don't just take it from an iPhone and take a picture of your product that looks like crap. Okay, if you don't know how to take good pictures, have one of your friends that understands photography take it. And also, once you take it, use Photoshop to spruce it up, lighten it up, and do all the magic with it. If you don't know how to do Photoshop, find someone that can. Make it tight. So you have the vision, and of course, you may have management. Okay, section here in the summary. And then you may have a quick little story about the startup. On one of the stealth startups that we're funding and launching, is I actually had it where I had a little story about the startup, why it was started. So I kind of summarized the slide, the company slide, where you literally know what we're trying to do, and then you know the story behind the startup. And this is the most critical slide in my opinion, and it also reflects the culture, the psychology behind the founding team, and the founders, the personalities. One way to look at this company first page is like an overview, and it's actually, in my opinion, one of the most difficult pages to design. And ironically, I actually wait for the last slide to do this one. So I personally do all the other slides, and then I think hard how to do it. Of course, you know, I do know the description, so what I'll do is actually the following. I'll design the first slide. I won't put anything here. I won't even do the picture, but I will just write in the description of the company, because it kind of gets me going on the other slides. So, like I said, and then on some of the other ones I have a lot more detail, like the management, the success, and also on some of the company overview slides I also state how much money we're seeking to raise after it's been stealth funded. So, and all that depends a little bit on the personality of the entrepreneurs and startup. So the next thing I do is, for our particular purposes, is I talk about the product or service, whatever you're doing, okay? And then, like I said, and you'll see it in the slides, I usually have this one color and this another color in reflection to what the background color is, so it looks really tight, sweet. And in this case, on the product, you know, there's a couple of things you want to do. Is first of all, you want to put down, for instance, you may describe the product. I put a simple description of it, and then what I'll do is I'll maybe have a little small point and describe it a little more. And I basically explain what the product description is. And then also, depending on how much space I have, and this is the one where you actually may have to do 2 slides, is explain like the simple classic of features and benefits, okay? And then if you have some really cool customer testimonials already, you may want to put them in here. Okay, and also on the product side, if you already have adopters, early adopters, if you've already put out a beta and you've got 10,000 early adopters or people that are playing with your product, then you may want to put that. So the whole thing is that you want to make this slide very sexy. And also, one of the things I've done on one of the startups is, like, for instance, I included a bunch of pictures. Okay, now, because this one particular startup had really 5 cool pictures, I couldn't decide which ones to do. So what I did was I standardized it. I made it really look tight. So I made each of these images the same.